What if there were a medicine that could heal almost anything?
That would be great.
But they didn't want you to know about it.
Sorry, who's they?
Some people are following me, and I brought my tortoise.
From executive producers Mike Judge and Greg Daniels and co-creators Joe Bennett and Steve Healy comes an animated comedy thriller about what it takes to change the world. Common Side Effects. New episodes, Sundays at 11:30 p.m. on Adult Swim. Now streaming on Max.
Hey Atlanta, Apple is open for small business. That's right. We're here to make starting and running your business simpler. With privacy and security built in on all devices, it's easy for you to protect your customers' data. And if you need hardware or software support, you'll get advice from business experts at no cost whatsoever. So you can focus more on the soup du jour and less on, the other stuff. At Apple, we're open for your small business. Go to apple.com/small business or visit an Apple store to learn more.
Why would she give you that money?
We were item.
So what? Nobody rains. I've been an item with a lot of people. They don't rain money on me like that. I'm cute.
This is the plaintiff, Tiffany Archer. She says she was dating the defendant, and at the time he needed help buying a car so he could drive for Uber. So she loaned him money. He kept promising to pay her back, but as time went on, they drifted apart. He did, however, reach out to her for sex from time to time, but she told him the unpaid loan was a big turnoff for her. That left a sour taste in his mouth because he ignored her calls for payment. The guy's a scammer, and she's here suing for the $4,050 she's owed. This is the defendant, Jarrell Bryant. He says he helped the plaintiff out by letting her live with him because she had a bed bug problem at her place, and she in turn helped him out buying a car. The defendant says they looked out for one another, and now she's trying to say the money she gave him was a loan. Bottom line, he's out more money than she is because she brought the bed bugs into his place, and he had to throw his furniture out. Oh, her? No way. He's accused of bugging out on a girlfriend. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,000 for cleaning, furniture replacement, and pain and suffering.
All parties, please use your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Tiffany Archer, you are suing your, what is he of yours?
I was an acquaintance by now.
With benefits? Your former something,
Right.
Jarrell Bryant, for $4,050 that you say he owes you in loans, cable bill, a Bluetooth speaker he broke, and $2,000 for intentional tort. All right. And you counterclaiming her pain and suffering for bed bugs. Tell me what happened.
Okay, we started dating in October, but we met before then. He was working for a cab service. His work started to slow down, and then he expressed the interest for working for Uber. Now, there's things that I acknowledge that are gifts. There are things that I've purchased for him. There's things that I've given to him. I'm suing for the $1,650 because one portion was for a vehicle so that he could obtain work with the company, and the extra $150.
He didn't even have a car, but he wanted to be an Uber driver? Don't you need a car first?
Right.
So you were buying him the car so he could be an Uber driver?
Right.
So if I called Uber and he answered, I was going to be riding around in a $1,000 car?
No, actually, I gave him $1,500 for the car.
Okay. And that makes me feel so much better.
No, I gave him.
Did you buy a car with $1,500 that you could use for Uber?
I bought a car, but I didn't use it for Uber.
What car did you buy?
I bought an Impala.
What year?
2007.
Did you tell her that you wanted to borrow money so you could buy?
No.
Where did this Uber stuff come from?
Well, I was driving cabs, and Uber's a hot thing, so I was interested in becoming Uber. But I could drive a gypsy.
And
cab.
did she loan you the money for the car?
No.
Did she give you the money for the car? Why would she give you that money?
We were item.
So what? Nobody rains. I've been an item with a lot of people. They don't rain money on me like that. I'm cute. The heck? Did you have him sign a promissory note?
I did not.
What were you doing that you were able to give away money to your boyfriend so much?
I work as a home health aide. I do live in, and I work 4 days at a time. So I go in on Thursday and I come off on Monday. But prior to this, the situation I was in, my home was in foreclosure and we were paid out, and I had already saved money up, so I was okay.
So you couldn't wait to get rid of it?
It's just that I help people.
Okay, and how often do you get burned?
A lot.
Okay. I have a philosophy that you should only pay for someone else if you don't mind seeing it go away, because you will end up with a lot of broken friendships. So if you want to help somebody out in their time of need, why don't you just get it in writing? So when does the first time that there's any discussion between the two of you that you want him to pay you back?
Well, when I gave it to him, I told him right off, as soon as I handed him the money, as soon as he got the money, because the text comes to my phone, I wired it from Western Union because I was at work at the time.
Yeah, you burning Western Union's wires. How many times did you wire him money?
I would say
5, 6, 7?
Around about 5 times, probably in the process of me
Did she tell you when she gave you the money that you would have to pay it back?
No.
And that's what we guard against by having a promissory note or even a text that says it. If you're too embarrassed, if you think, oh, I don't want to seem like I don't trust him by making him sign a promissory note. I don't know why, but if that's what's in your head, then just send a text saying, I'm so glad I was able to help you. When do you think you can pay me back? Oh, don't worry, I'll be able to pay you back in a few months. Done. That's a contract. There's no dispute about whether it's a loan or a gift, right? You're suing for money you gave him for a car, money you gave him for insurance, money you gave for a cable bill that you opened up in your name. You think you're moving in? What do you think?
No, the thing is, because he's in NYCHA and he gets his rent paid through public assistance, because I'm staying there, a lot of people that stay with you, they don't like to pull their weight. So I said, while I'm staying, at least let me, instead of
You're not even supposed to be staying there, though, right?
Well, I wasn't planning on living there,
Right.
but I just,
you just put a bill in your name there. And when you put a bill in your name there, you had to pay $100. Why? That's actually the cable bill?
No, the cable bill was $139, but the bank statements that I got, it doesn't show the other half where I paid.
But why does he have to pay you back the $100?
Oh, because when I left, we made an agreement, being that I was not going to stay there. He was going to continue to pay the bill. He has these entertaining family and friends.
With your cable.
Right, and I'm not staying there.
Why don't you just cancel the cable? Why didn't you just do that? Why would you trust a guy to pay the bill? Did he pay the bill?
He did.
Oh.
For the first, and it's just that the last bill he didn't pay. But
All right, you owe $100 on the cable?
Nope.
How not?
I don't.
Show me the proof of everything you paid on the cable.
I don't have any proof in.
Okay, well then you owe her $100 on the cable if you don't have any proof. Broken Bluetooth speaker. What happened there?
She left a speaker. I don't remember her leaving the speaker. She came back. It was broke. I had a bunch of kids in my house.
And then what'd you do with the speaker?
I threw it away. It was broke.
Yeah, that speaker didn't break. You owe her for the speaker another $100. I don't like that at all. Intentional tort. What do you mean when you say intentional tort? Somebody did a little reading on the internet.
Intentional tort.
Yes, because I feel that he misrepresented himself when he asked for the car. I thought he was actually going to get a job, try to better himself and make better of his situation because he could take better care of himself and pay me back. So this is why I loaned him the money for the car, because I thought he was supposed to be working.
So the intentional tort is you chose unwisely?
Well, I felt like he misrepresented himself.
All right, so now let me ask you about your lawsuit. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Bed bugs and pain and suffering. Talk to me.
All right, so Tiffany, I moved in an apartment and they had, I guess, a pre-existing bed bug situation. And, she was staying at my house Monday through Wednesday. Towards the beginning, ending, it felt a little funny, a little itchy and stuff. But I could say by the time she left, I had a bed bug situation, I had to call housing, get them to deal with it. I had to throw
Can I see proof of that?
Yeah.
Did you have a bed bug situation in the house that you were in?
The apartment complex, yes.
I'm trying to imagine. So I have a bed bug situation. Can I come stay with you? Let me take I'll just bring my sheets and my luggage and everything else a bed bug can hitch a ride on. Let's do that. That sounds like a capital idea. Says we're exterminating for gnats and water bugs and mice. Ooh, you're living in a...
No, you see, they came and
roaches and rats.
They came to spray for everything. When you tell them you have a problem with bugs, they came to handle everything. So.
Okay, target organism, though, is what you complained about, and that was roaches. And that was in March anyway. Where am I finding a bed bug problem that she brought into your place? This is July of 2018. When were you there? December of 2017?
Yes.
Right. This is July of 20. This is the other day. This is the other day. So where's your proof that she caused a bed bug problem that would entitle you to $3,000? I mean, listen, bed bug lawsuits are awful because it is really hard to determine who brought in the bed bug. Nobody knows but the bed bug, and the bed bug ain't talking. So it's very hard to, but assuming, okay, that yours is a better case than most because she had bed bugs and then went to your house to stay, which was nuts on your part. But okay, except here's the problem I'm having. I'm not finding you complaining to the housing authority to spray, and it's free when you complain to them to spray. They just do it. You don't have to pay for it, nothing, right? I don't see you complaining about it until 4 months after she moves out.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, if you loan a friend money, do you expect payment back? Or do you just think, whatever, if he pays back or she pays back, great, if not?
Yeah, great if not.
So you don't really expect it back?
No.
If you loan somebody money, it's a friend, do you expect it back?
Absolutely.
And if you don't get it back, do you end the friendship?
I ask them for the money.
If you don't get it back, do you end the friendship?
No, I go to the People's Court.
But then do you end the friendship?
If we lose.
What do you say?
Depends on how much money.
Okay, $500.
Probably, yeah. I'd expect the money back.
Would you end the friendship over it?
No.
1,000.
Nah.
2,000.
Starting to get close to
3,000.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there we go. Going inside the courtroom.
Technically, she never originally moved in because, like I told her, I wasn't ready for the relationship. But she'd get out of work, she'd come straight to my house Monday morning, and she'll stay till Wednesday.
Okay, when did you two break up?
Huh? Technically, it was we were not really in a relationship.
When did you two stop making love to each other or having sex or whatever you guys want to call it? I don't know what to call it. I don't find a complaint until March 19th.
If I may say.
And they sprayed for everything. The target on March 19th, they may have sprayed for bed bugs, but the target on March 19th was roaches.
I told them I had bugs. They said they were going to come handle the bugs.
Yeah. You know what? If you had bed bugs, you'd know. You claim you had to throw out furniture. You have any proof you had to throw out furniture?
No, I didn't bring it.
No, because she has pictures of you on the furniture you say you threw out.
Yeah, but that was like how many months ago? November?
I don't know. When was that?
How many months ago?
January 21st.
January.
Okay, well.
January. It takes a while for the bugs to grow, you know. They come little, and then they take a time to sprout out.
Your Honor, I had them, so I would know. It is a disaster.
Right?
What you don't know about bed bugs would fill a library. All right. What, are you some kind of gigolo? What is wrong with you? Like, why is it that this woman, pays for all this stuff, you let her pay for all this stuff, and then even if it was a gift, and then later on she says, well, you know what, we're not together anymore, and I'd like the money, you don't pay her back?
No, I'm not a gigolo. I'll just say that, Your Honor. I'm not a gigolo.
Yeah. Look, I have one call to make, and that's, is it a gift or a loan? If you're coming to court and you're trying to prove it's a loan, I got to make you prove it. It doesn't take much to be able to prove it, but there has to be something, and there usually is. There's usually a text during the time of the transfer of money. There's something. There's a promissory note. If there's not a promissory note, there's emails, there's a witness, there's something. You've got nothing. So there are choices that we make. And when we make them, we're stuck with them. I would suggest to you that you love yourself a little more than this in the next relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because you can't, you think you were helping him, and that's fine. If you can kiss the money goodbye and you have that kind of dough and you can't wait, it's burning a hole in your pocket, you got to get rid of it right away, that's fine. But if it's not, and I don't think it is, or you wouldn't be in court now, I think that you need to be a little more judicious about spending your money on you and on things that you want to see, on things that make you happy, okay? Because it's not going to improve a relationship. It's not. Then what happens is that one side is doing all the giving and the other side is doing all the taking. And that's exactly what ended up happening here. But it's a life lesson, and you're young, and don't let it happen again to you.
Wow.
Your counterclaim against her, let's see, $3,000 for giving you bed bugs. No. All right? No, because I say no. All right? But I am going to order him to pay you the $200 for the broken speaker and for the cable bill, because that's all I can really do. Okay. All right? Verdict for the plaintiff, $200.
Well, technically the plaintiff wins, but not very much, Mr. Bryant, the defendant. You say you're not a gigolo, but a lot of people look at you and say, hey, I don't know about about that.
No, I'm not. You can't help myself, man. I'm just
Do
glad
you feel
to
at all
judge me.
guilty that you took all that money? And
No.
No?
I mean, it was a gift.
It
It
was a
was a
gift.
gift. It was the way it happened, man. You know, that's
right.
it.
Okay,
Whoa.
that's it. All right, thank you very much. You must, go ahead, you can accompany him. Ms. Archer, you're getting money for a speaker and a cable bill, and that's it. That's not near $4,000, only $200.
It's fine.
You've learned, when you say that's fine, I know you don't really mean that, but you've learned something from out of this,
Yes,
obviously.
I have. I've recovered from then, and I'm fine. He's the taker, so he's gonna have a life of, disappointment and misfortune. That's not gonna be me. I'm already over it. I made the money back already, so I'm good.
And you've learned from this.
Yes, the life of a low life. Everybody get to see the life of a low life.
Okay, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Okay, I mean, look, I want to reinforce what the judge said. Send an email to whoever you loan money to, confirming it's a loan and when it's supposed to get paid back. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 45% off select styles. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This is the plaintiff, Jacqueline. She says the defendant is her ex-boyfriend, and he gave her a car and paid him for the insurance every month while she had it. Unfortunately, the car was hit at 4:30 in the morning while it was parked. The defendant collected the insurance money on a now totaled car, then took off with it. She was paying for the insurance. Her now ex-boyfriend is a snake in the grass, and she's suing him for the $5,000 she's due. This is the defendant, Bernard Samuel. He says he and the plaintiff broke up prior to the crash, and he gave her the title to the car and told her to register and insure it in her own name. The lazy woman never did it. She never returned his plates, and the insurance money he collected is his fair and square because she never transferred the car or insurance to her name. He's accused of letting down a lady friend.
All parties, please use your radio.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The defendant is the plaintiff's ex-boyfriend, and he pocketed the insurance money after her car was totaled. Now, the defendant says she was a slacker and got what she deserves. It's the case of you're in bad hands.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Jacqueline, you are suing your former boyfriend, Bernard Samuel, for $5,000 that you say he owes you, $1,800 of an insurance check that he didn't share with you or give to you, money spent to maintain a car, and the rest for stress and aggravation. All right. How long did you two date?
For 8 years.
8 years. And you broke up when?
Last year, September.
Okay. And after the breakup, he gives you a car?
He gave me the car before, Your Honor.
Okay. And when did he give you the car?
He gave me the car about 2016. I've had the car.
And you've been driving it all that time?
Yes.
All right. When you broke up, did you leave with the car?
Yes.
Had the car been in his name the whole time?
Yes.
When you leave with the car, what does he tell you?
He told me to pay the insurance for the car and to register the car. I did not because I've been shopping around for insurance. The agreement the defendant and I made was until July of 2018.
Until July of 2018 what? It would stay in his name?
Yes, it would stay in his name.
But he signed the title over to you?
Yes, he
When
signed
did he sign the title over to you? After you broke up?
After we broke up.
Okay.
October of 2017.
Now, your version of this is very different. You told her, take my plates off, return my plates, register the car.
Yes.
And she didn't.
Of course.
Who
she
was
didn't.
paying for the insurance on the car?
I, Your Honor.
So you had insurance on the car, but you never registered it in your name?
No, I did not, because I finally got insurance.
When did you get the insurance on the car?
I got insurance for August. I was quoted $227. I was paying Mr. Samuel $180 a month.
So did you have the insurance, or did he have the insurance?
He had the insurance.
On this car?
Yes.
He had the insurance in his name?
Yes.
So you were shopping around, but you never bought insurance?
No.
Oh. Well, what were you saying about $227 and I got insurance in August? What are you talking about? You didn't get insurance.
No, because the deal that Mr. Samuel and I had was for me to pay the insurance until the end of July. In the end of July, I would then give him the plates for the car, and I would take over the insurance, have the car register, and I would have everything in my name.
Okay, and according to you, what's the agreement?
The agreement is that she was supposed to take the title, go to DMV, get the car her name, and so I could get that car off of me. Because seeing that we're no longer in a relationship, I don't want that car nowhere near me. I want to get it right. I have documents.
Why are you
to
giving
show.
your ex-girlfriend a car anyway? Because you feel like it's really her car? She's been driving it all the time?
No. The reason why I give her the car, because while we were together, she was using the car, and we had a business together. And she needed the car to transfer, to move from her new home to the business. So I gave her that for that purpose.
What's the business that you guys have together?
We had an Airbnb business.
An Airbnb business in the place where you were living, or in a different place?
My house.
So according to you, you gave her the car as a gift, but on the condition that she register it in her own name. She didn't do that.
I believe you're 100% correct.
So she didn't do that, and at some point there's an accident.
Yes.
When was the accident?
Father's Day of this year.
Woo! Months and months and months and months and months after he gave you the car. And when was the car struck? At 4:30 in the morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
What were you doing out at 4:30 in the morning?
No, it was parked in front of my residence.
Oh, somebody hit it?
Someone hit it.
Hit and run, or do you know who it was?
The person stayed. They fell asleep. They claimed they fell asleep and struck the car and totaled my neighbor's car that was in front.
So the insurance company, and she was paying $188 each month, right?
Yes, but that wasn't the full amount. She was paying. I was still putting money to make up that money because
why?
She did not want to pay the full amount. She's fine. First thing she told me that was too much of money. The $187 is too much of money.
You decided to pay the rest of it so she wouldn't have to pay it.
No.
Why did you decide to pay the extra?
Because I want her to get the car off of my name, and she will not pay. She don't want to pay no more.
But at no point do you take the car back from her.
She don't want to pay no more.
I know that you know that she didn't want. Yes, she didn't want to pay more. That doesn't mean you have to pay it. You chose to pay the rest of the insurance.
I have to pay it because if the car is under
Why don't you take the car back from her if she won't register it?
I just didn't want to go down that way. Honestly, I didn't want to go down. Everybody tell me
so
take
you
the
knew
car.
she had not registered the car?
Yes, because I keep telling her, register the car. I need the car off of my name.
Right. So you know she hadn't. You don't take the car back. She's driving the car from October to June. In June, she gets hit. The insurance declares it a total loss. She wants the insurance check because it's her car. And you want to keep the insurance check because it's registered under your name. Have I got it?
Partially.
What am I missing?
So if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, would you ever put a car for them in your name, say, because they couldn't get insurance?
I would not.
Suppose they say, I'm going to break up with you if you don't.
Hell no.
What do you say?
No.
Why?
Because
What's the problem?
they should have their own insurance.
Fair enough, but what's the problem if you say yes to it?
I think if you say yes, they just rely on you for everything.
There's a bigger problem going inside the courtroom.
There was a part just before the car got hit, about a week before the car got hit. She called the police for me because she hit me with a washcloth in my face.
She what?
She hit me with a washcloth in my face.
Why?
Because we had an argument about something. And I went to hit her. But I did not hit her. She called the police, the cops, and said, I hit her. The police came, and they realized that wasn't true. And from that day, I shut the business down.
Okay, but why is she still collecting money from a business renting out your basement in your house?
No, the day that I shut the business down.
What business was she in besides you renting your basement?
She was managing
Okay,
Airbnb
so she
for
was
me.
doing something. How much was the check?
$1,800.
And why should you get $1,800 when you never registered the car in your name?
Your Honor, I took care of the car in the amount of $2,554.50.
Did you actually get the car fixed?
Yes, I have invested in the car. When the car was struck, he didn't want to help me with the car. And in regards to the insurance...
And he told you it's your car, you deal with it.
Yes, that's what he told me. He never told me anything about the insurance being any more than $180. That is all he quoted me.
Do you have proof that it was more than that?
Yes.
Let me see it. Was it on a bill that you were paying anyway, because your car's on that bill too?
Yes, all the cars, I have 3 cars, and 3 cars on the bill.
Is she a licensed driver on that policy?
She's just allowed
Her
to
name's
drive.
not on that
No,
car?
No.
Even though she's the risk, she's the one who's driving it?
Yeah,
He added me because when his license had points against it, when he added me on, it brought it down.
And you're suing for $2,554.50, money spent to maintain the car.
Yes.
Why? If you drove it during that time, and if I agree with you and I order him to pay you the insurance check, because it really was your car and you were paying for insurance, if I do that, wouldn't you be made whole by me ordering him to pay you the insurance check? That's all the insurance company would give you.
I just want to show you that.
You can't also get money that you put into the car. Is it yours or isn't it? Yeah, there's a couple of cars on this policy, right?
Yes, 3 cars.
Okay. All right. Now we're done. On your lawsuit against him for the $1,828.01, I rule in your favor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're paying the insurance.
Yes.
I don't like that you didn't register it, but it seems not to have been a secret to him that you didn't register it.
Yes.
So I order you to pay her that because I think it was clear to everybody that this is her car.
Stress and
And
aggravation.
on the $2,554.50 for money spent to maintain the car, no. An amount owed for stress and aggravation. You're kidding me, right?
No.
No?
He's very belligerent.
So you picked him. He's so belligerent he gave you a car after you broke up.
He gave me the car before we broke up.
Well, either way, he allowed you to keep a car that was under his name, that he gave you. You're going to sue for stress and aggravation? No. $1,828.01, verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the plaintiff prevails. The judge orders her to get a little over $1,800 from you. How do you react to this?
I still feel that I don't like the decision that was made, and I feel that the car was still in my possession, and if she had go there and caused any accident with the car, they wasn't going to tell her anything. They was going to come at me for my house and for everything I own.
The big problem is you should have forced her or taken the car back. That's what the judge said.
Taking it back. A lot of my friends told me to do it, but I was just trying to be peaceful.
Thank you very much. You must sign a few documents on your way out. There's Jacqueline. All right. You okay now? You're going to get that back? You okay?
Yes, I am. The Lord loves justice. I must say, Mr. Samuel is a decent man, but he's being ill-advised.
You feel that way?
Yes, I know.
I mean, you were a couple for 8 years.
For 8 years. He's been influenced by his friends. Again, the Lord loves justice, and justice prevailed today. I thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good
You're
day,
welcome. Harvey?
Okay, we talked about it. The biggest problem is that if they get in an accident and the car is in your name, you are responsible to whoever they hit. And if the other person gets injured, you're responsible for that as well. It is not worth it. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Atlassian. Atlassian makes the team collaboration software that powers enterprise businesses around the world, including over 80% of the Fortune 500. With Atlassian's AI-powered software like Jira, Confluence, and Loom, you'll have more time to do the work that matters. In fact, Atlassian customers experience a 25% reduction in project duration per year. Unleash the potential of your team at Atlassian.com. Atlassian.
This is the plaintiff, Donald Sohn. He says he hired the defendant to stage his house and modernize it because he was going to put it up for sale. She was supposed to spruce up the landscaping, the painting, and furnishings so it looked nice to potential buyers. One day before she was scheduled to show up to do the work, she emailed him saying she was quitting. He lost out on rent. The sale of the house was greatly delayed, and he's here suing her for the $7,000 she cost him. This is the defendant, Alice Kemp. She says she was forced to back out of the deal by a competing realtor who strong-armed her into canceling her deal with the plaintiff. She told the plaintiff she was sorry, but there was just too much drama and she wasn't going to be able to stage his house as discussed. Bottom line, she's not responsible for the inability of the plaintiff to sell his house in a bad market and doesn't owe him all this money. She's accused of backing out.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to fix up his house, and that person flaked out. But the defendant says the plaintiff is blaming her on a bad real estate market. It's the case of the fix isn't in.
Thank you, Douglas. Donald Sohn, you are suing Alice Kemp for $7,000 that you feel you are owed. You actually feel you're owed a lot more than that, but that's a statutory maximum in your state of Massachusetts because according to you, she breached a contract to stage your home. All right, what happened here?
Your Honor, earlier this winter, I decided to sell my home, and I wanted to find a stager who is somebody, if you don't know, takes your home and gives you recommendations about how to fix it up, make it look nice. They also typically furnish your home with sort of fake furniture to make it look lived in and make it look nice and well kept.
Instead of the furniture that was already there?
That's
You were
correct.
renting that place out? You had tenants there?
I was, yes.
Okay, was it a house?
It was a freestanding house.
Okay. Do you need a degree to be a stager or just good taste?
No, I work for just investors primarily, and when they do a flip on a house and it's empty, I bring in the furniture and get it ready for the
Where do you
photographer.
get that furniture from?
I own it. I buy it. I have, it's a
Like do you have a storage facility with all of that furniture?
I
Okay.
do, yeah.
All right. And then you bring the furniture in because it's nicer than what there is in there. And you have the tchotchkes and the knickknacks and you have the style and then you, all right, how long have you been doing this?
Oh, about 3 years now.
Is this your full-time job?
No, absolutely not.
What's your full-time job?
I'm a real estate agent.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so he contacts you and at the time he hasn't listed the place yet, right?
No.
In fact, you were hoping to get the listing.
Well, it would have been nice. I gave him
course.
some advice.
All right, so you were going to charge him how much to stage the place?
$2,500.
All right, did you get a deposit or anything?
No.
All right, now, one of the first things that had to be done in order to stage a place is you got to get the renters out, right? Because you want to fix the place up. Was their lease up?
No, their lease wasn't up. They were sort of in a month-to-month type of lease.
All right, so you gave them their 30 days notice.
Right.
And when did the tenants move out? In May?
At the end of May.
Okay. Now we're in June.
Right.
And what happens?
I was really getting anxious to try to get this house on the market, and there were some delays, mostly just waiting for the tenants to leave, but also on Alice's company's part, where she just kept on saying the workers that she was hiring. There was a big delay, but they would be coming. So
who were the workers you were hiring?
Actually, they were my daughter and her boyfriend have a small painting and handyman business on the side.
Are they
as well.
licensed?
No, they're not.
Did you have any idea that she
No
was?
idea. I just
Okay, so
assumed
what
that-
happened though?
Yeah.
Get to the breach. What
Right.
happened?
So what happened was the day before they were supposed to come.
What day were they supposed to come to give
I-
you an estimate or come to start
Come
work?
to start the work.
Okay, and that was what day were they supposed to come to?
It was sometime in June.
Okay.
The day before they were supposed to start, the defendant sends me an email that says, I'm not going to do the work. I'm canceling everything, all the construction that we scheduled for weeks. We're not doing the work.
Why? What
and
happened?
She didn't like
what was
the
the reason
interaction.
why you bailed out of this contract after agreeing to do it?
Well, the reason is I got a phone call from a real estate agent with my former company that I used to work for, where things did not part well between my former company and me.
Did you get fired?
No, I did not get fired.
In any event, though, how do you figure that even if I think that she breached the contract, I could understand if you had paid her a deposit and she won't return it, you're suing for the deposit back. You paid her $0. So how do you figure, you come into court and you say you're out like 10 grand? How? By what? You say you lost rent for 4 months, but you lost rent because you had to clear that place out in order to stage it and try to sell it. Right, so why would she have to pay you $8,400 and lost rent for 4 months?
Because she told me that I would need to give my tenants notice immediately.
You do have to give your tenants 30 days notice.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
right,
yes, Your
but
Honor.
how does she have to pay you rent? All you had to do was go out and find another stager.
So is this guy allowed to get lost rent from the person who flaked out?
Oh, boy.
Dun, 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 dun.
If he has a signed contract,
Yeah.
then he should be able to get the rent.
Boy, that was tough for you, wasn't it? Going inside the courtroom.
All you had to do was find another contractor, or if you're too busy to find your own contractor, you don't want to have to deal with that, then you find a general contractor who subs it, and if you don't want to deal with that, then you find another stager who's in her position. But what efforts did you make to get another stager or to get anybody else to get in there?
I actually contacted several contractors, several painters. I contracted several landscapers.
Contracted?
By June, contacted, sorry. By June, all the quality workers in my area were all taken. They wouldn't even return my phone calls because in June, all the landscapers, they all have their jobs, their projects laid out. So they couldn't even return my calls. There was one person who returned my call and he quoted me a number that was significantly more.
Okay, so you chose not to do it, but you knew, or you didn't know it was going to be her daughter, but you knew that she was subbing out work. Would she have wanted to do the work?
Of course she would have, and I would have too. But.
So then why didn't you just let her do the sub work that she was going to do?
She just didn't want to after knowing what's going on with the other company and me and the ugliness that was happening.
Okay.
Your Honor, which I had nothing to do with.
No, of course you have nothing to do with it. First of all, let me just say that she breached the contract, okay? The problem is, how are you going to prove these damages? You're looking at me in the eye and telling me there are 0 people who could now do the work, but that's not true. Of course you need to do the work. You need to hire somebody to beautify the place. You need to hire a stager, and you need to pay the amounts of money it's going to take to do that. When you gave him that price, is that just your staging price, or did that include the landscaping and everything else?
There were 2 different prices. Mine was in an email for the $2,500, and then my daughter had sent over a statement of work.
Which was for how much?
I have it here, Your Honor.
I think it was
how much?
Close to $16,000.
$16,000. So you had lots to play with. Now you have found $18,000.
But Your Honor,
how is it that she would? Oh, and by the way, you're also, aside from the lost rent, because according to you, you cannot find a single landscaper in Springfield, Massachusetts, nor a single contractor who will work. You're also suing for a painting estimate, $500, and landscapers, $500, and $1,000 for a contractor. Why would she have to pay for that stuff? Under what theory ever would she have to pay for that? Then you'd get free remodeling. How would that be appropriate?
So that was a typo. So it's above. It's the premium because it's now in the summertime. And I will look you straight in the eye, Your Honor, and tell you that I tried with full effort.
You're going to have to prove to me that you did that. I can't take your word for it. I need to see
no one was
phone
available.
Records. It's because it sounds unbelievable, right? Like you know that that's what you have to prove when you come in here. That you literally can't get anybody to work there between June and now, June, July, August, September. In 4 months, if there's any landscapers out there in Springfield, Massachusetts, drop me a line if you would have worked. If there's any contractors out, any painters in Springfield, I'm going to get hundreds and hundreds of emails.
The contractors and landscapers were relatively easy. It was the painters that were really tough. They just weren't available. I called three separate companies.
I understand they may not be available that day. They may not be available next week, but in 4 months, that I'm finding hard to believe. But aside from that, where do you get this quote that it's going to cost me $500 more to paint now because of you? Where did that come from? How are you going to prove that?
I can't really prove it. It's my estimate of what the premium is. I know,
it's all just taken out of thin air. And $500 more for the landscaper. Says who? How are you proving that? Here's how you prove that. You take her estimate, and then you have other estimates. And then you're showing me, look, because of her, I ended up now having to pay more. If you did that for me, I'd say, look, he has to pay more. But you don't bring me any proof of that, do you? And I'm talking about her daughter's estimate.
Also, because of the defendant, I gave my tenants 30-day notice where, if I didn't meet her, they would still be there because I would just do the work.
Or if you hired
piecemeal.
another stager in June, then you could have gone forward also.
But I wouldn't know when they would have started, so they would have.
Of course, and neither do I. They could have started the next day. And that's where the problem lies. There's two parts to every lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
One is, did she do you wrong? And she did you wrong. It was incredibly unprofessional. I don't feel like being bothered, so I'm bailing on you. That's terrible, okay? But the second part of any lawsuit is, what are your damages? And you have to prove both. And you hadn't paid her a penny. If you had paid her a deposit, she wouldn't return it. I'd order her to return it and yell at her. But you hadn't paid her a penny. So how could you prove your case? Well, one way to prove your case is you go to another stager right away. And you talk to the other stager. And then the stager tells you, we can't start for a month. And the stager charges you $1,000 more than she does. I'd have an actual example of what you're out. You're out an extra month of delay, and you're out the extra $1,000 that stager was in. We'd have a monetary damage that we can calculate. But we can't calculate it because you just went and you didn't do anything. What have you done in this house since then?
No,
Nothing?
I did landscaping work.
How did you do that?
I hired a landscaper.
Oh, how'd that work out? Just fine, right?
It worked out fine. Yeah,
okay.
But
and when did the landscaper come?
she came sometime in August. That's when she was.
Okay, so then why are you suing for another $500 that it's going to cost you to get landscapers?
Because she charged an extra $500 more than.
Okay, show me that. If you show me that, she's paying you some.
Oh
no!
I don't have it.
That was a chance.
that was my shot. I don't have it.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. San, I am ordering a verdict in your favor in the amount of $1.
Yeah.
Pay the man.
Well, the plaintiff does prevail. He may not feel that he has, but he did indeed. So you got to pay him $1.
Yes.
What do you think about that? I mean, if you hadn't backed out, this wouldn't have happened.
True, but I felt like I had given him a good reason, and I think the judge's verdict was fair.
You going to do this again ever? You learned a lesson through all this?
I think so. Yes, I think I'm going to stick with the type of clients that I normally work with. And
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
you must sign some documents your way out of the courtroom. Mr. Son, $1. I think I've never heard that judgment in this court before. So how do you feel right now about this?
I mean, I feel like justice was served. I mean, I think that she decided against her, and I think that's fair. You know,
Is that what you were after, to have her found guilty?
I think that's definitely a part. I think that's definitely part of it. So I'm good with it.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
My pleasure.
Good enough. Don't spend that buck in the same place. Harvey?
Doug, the $1 judgment is because technically the defendant breached, but the fact is there are really no damages.